Hello, almost brethren. It's Nathan, and yes, I'm back. I'm alive. Woo! It's crazy. I know. So much to talk about. So little time, but I'm gonna try to stick to an actual topic this time. So it's kind of dark. I'm gonna try to fix that. Oh no. I don't think I did what I wanted it to do, but oh well. Today, Noah and everybody else, I'm here to talk about my problems with academia, specifically the way things are taught and the subject matter that is taught. So, here we go. So I recently just had a class about comic books in as an English setting. It was for English 418, and I think that this was a very interesting topic for me because I really like comic books. I'm a nerd, but more importantly, I think that was very interesting for me to take that class because it allowed me to see a different medium in a more academic sense. I was able to read a comic book with a literary perspective, which I don't think was something I'd ever done before, and it really opened my eyes to different ways of reading, which I think was very important for me to do as a person and as a student. The reason I bring this up is because there's a big stigma around teaching things that are sort of unconventional. Because I told other people that I was taking a class about comic books, and they're like, "Oh, that's so fun, you're lucky." And while that's true, other people responded with things like, "Comic books? Like, that's so dumb. Like, what is there to gain from that?" And I feel like there's a big stigma around things that are unconventional being taught in a conventional setting, which is sort of my biggest problem with the academic world, is that they're not willing to expand their horizons or expand upon what they teach to help further what they're teaching. My biggest example of this comes from video games. I think that when there's just so much to be learned from video games. Like when I was in high school, we read a plethora of different things, and for instance, we read The Crucible, which was a play, and then we watched the movie. A lot of times there was a movie tie-in with whatever we were reading to help sort of engage in the students' minds what we were learning, and I think that's a really good idea. Now, I know some of you might be thinking that video game tie-ins, certain things are awful, and I'm not arguing for that at all, because I agree they are kind of awful. Licensed games have a problem, a few exceptions being the Batman Arkham series. But besides that, I still think that video games should hold a spot in an academic sense. Hear me out. While I understand that video games are more or less used for recreational purposes, I still think that they hold a significant weight when it comes to teaching and learning things. The other example I also want to bring to the table is the topic of Undertale. I know you guys have heard me talk about Undertale relentlessly, but please hear me out for this. Undertale is a fantastic game that is best left unspoiled, so if you haven't heard anything about it, please don't look it up or anything. It's such a great game. It's $10 on Steam. Please go get it. But I was talking to my professor who teaches video game music, another great class that is also has a bad reputation in academia. But I was talking to him about it, and I asked if he could actually teach it in a video game, in a class, if he could assign people to read it, because $10 is nothing when it comes to a college book textbook. And so requiring students to play a game that costs it takes maybe up 3 hours of your time just to hear some of the wonderful music that's in it, I don't think it's that much of a stretch. And sure, not everybody has a computer or something to play it on, but at this rate, at a college of this institution, or even any college in general for that matter, somebody knows somebody who has a laptop that they can play it on, and it takes 3 hours. And if you spread that across the entire week, it's not that much time. I guess what I'm trying to say, my biggest problem with academia is that they don't really focus on other methods of learning, and that's a problem. I'm not saying that video games should be brought into every English class or something, but I'm saying that if the opportunity presents itself and it's going to integrate itself naturally into the course, or integrate itself naturally into the thought process, even just referencing it might help the students, because that's something that they're familiar with, something that they're interested in. And I'm extremely interested in books, so that's why I'm an English major. But at the same time, if there's another way that you can make the classroom setting that much more exciting, then do it. This is something I've been thinking about for a long time. I wanted to get my thoughts out, and I thought it'd be really interesting to do a more school-based video. So if this is something that you like, I continue to do this because I have a lot of other thoughts. If not, I can start somewhere else. I have a lot of other ideas for AlmostBros. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more this summer because I have a lot more time. I'm not actually taking classes. I'm going to try to work 40 hours a week, but I should have time to make videos. So Noah, I know that we already posted a video today, but I really wanted to do this. So I'm going to see your face awfully soon because it's my turn to post again on Saturday. Peace out. I love your faces. Also, quick side note, Noah, you and I established a rule at the very beginning of Almost Bros that if we make 2 videos in a week and at least one of them meets the time limit requirement, that the other one doesn't technically have to, because people are not necessarily, they don't have to watch this video that I'm posting right now. Ergo, my 5-minute time limit, and I'm a little over 5 minutes, but it's totally valid, so I don't get a punishment for this. I get a punishment for a lot of other things, but not for this. Okay, that's all.